Hi, it's Ian from K-On. Today we have the Nissan Patrol Y62 and we're having a look at the rear roof shelf. So we're installing a rear roof shelf on the Y62 today. The rear roof shelf is an excellent extra bit of storage for putting those light items like your jackets, umbrellas, first aid kits. With this design, we've also got the extra supports to ensure the long-term durability and performance of the product. There's two options. There's a small support panel or a larger Molle panel, which further extends your ability to organize the back of your vehicle. So the first thing you have to do is remove the handles. These handles are pretty easy to remove. Little screwdriver, just pop the covers off here. And underneath you'll find an M6 bolt. So you'll need a 10mm socket. So I'll get those covers off and remove these. Now retain these handles because we're going to reinstall them over the top of the brackets. Okay, that one's off. Now go and do the other side. Now the handles are all off, the next thing to consider is the side supports. You need to grab the right one. There's a left and a right, and whether you're installing the small one or the large one, it's a good idea to check that you've got the right one. So this one here goes into the cup holders and is roughly underneath the mounting points. For the large Molles, we'll cover the installation of those later on. Other thing to consider is the shelf bracket. Now it sits like this, mounted to the holes in the roof, and will attach to the supports like so. Now what I like to do is I like to put the bolts in, the M6 bolts, just loosely, makes it easier to get to. Don't tighten them all the way up, you need to keep them slightly loose, and then we'll install them. Now that you've got your support assembly assembled, place the support in place. If you're installing a cargo barrier, now's the time to sandwich the cargo barrier bracket over the top of the mounts. This will give you the mount for the cargo barrier. Today we're not installing a cargo barrier, so we'll remove that. Okay, time to put the handle back over the bracket. Just make sure everything's lined up first. It is quite a tight fit, which is on purpose. So I'll get this one in place first. Good. And we'll get this other one in as well. Okay. Now you can tighten these ones up now. And what we'll do next is we'll adjust the position or the mounting of this. Remember, we didn't tighten these ones up before. And what I like to do is just to make sure we take up any slack in the positioning of this and preload it slightly before we tighten up these M6 domed heads. So feels good. That's solid. Let's get us down on the back there. Okay, that's installed. We'll go ahead and do the other side. Now we've got the vehicle prepped, time to prep the actual shelf. So we need to attach the fence on the back. Grab your M5 bolts and nuts. And just attach them through the holes here. Pretty simple. Now we're ready to install the shelf. can be a little bit tricky, but grab your 4M6 bolts. I'll get one in first, makes it easy. Gotcha. And then that one. And that went pretty smoothly. And there you go. And now I'll put the nuts on and tighten it all up. Okay, that's that one. While we're over here, might as well just tighten it all up. Got it. The large Molle panels, they're handed, so there's a left and a right. So a little tip on choosing the right one for the right side. The K logo will be on the back, and this one sits out like so. The other part of the Molle is the cup holder mounts. Now these cup holder mounts, they should only go in one way, and when you get them in right, it sits nice and level. The other thing too is we've designed it so that when you bolt it all together, all the holes should line up and all the edges should line up too. So what we're going to do first actually is we're going to attach this the cup holder mounts to the bottom of the Molles. Much easier to do outside of the vehicle. 2 M6 bolts and nuts. And you know you've got it right because everything lines up. So these ones here, we're right to actually tighten up so that we don't have to tighten it when it's installed. So I'll go ahead and tighten that one up. So that's your Molle ready. With a large Molles, you'll receive this bracket to attach it to the top. Now this bracket does not have the mounting holes for the shelf, so if you want to attach the shelf, you'll need the larger bracket with the extra holes in the bottom. So put that in a safe place if you're installing a shelf, but otherwise we'll go ahead and install the larger bracket. So similar to small supports, much easier to attach the bracket outside the vehicle. So we're going to use these M6 domed heads and loosely secure the bracket before we install it on the vehicle. Good. Cool. Now we've got that assembled, place it into the cup holders. Just checking that the mounting holes line up, and this one does, really nice. So time to install the handles back over the top. Now, as mentioned before, if you are installing the cargo barrier, now's the time to sandwich the cargo barrier brackets between here, but we're not doing that at the moment, so we'll just put these back on. Put these covers back on too, before we lose them. So now that's secure, what we want to do is we want to actually tighten these two mounting points. What we like to do is to preload it a little bit, take up all the slack. Need an Allen key, and I'll just nip that up first. And there's the 10mm on the back. Very good. And just preload that a little bit and tighten that up. This will make sure you won't get any rattles, and also make sure that you transfer some of the load down into those cup holders. So we can just do that. Just tighten there, but you should be able to get in there with an open spanner. Okay. Now the panel's installed, just go ahead and proceed with the normal install of the shelf. There you have it, rear roof shelf is installed. This one has the small supports, but you can also have this shelf with the larger Molle panels. Also compatible with the cargo barrier that we do for the Y62. Now we've given this car a whole heap more options for storing and organising the back of your vehicle. The shelf utilises that cavity up in there really well. Plenty of room actually. So for things such as lightweight camping chairs, pouches and storage bags, easily go up in there. The other thing to consider as well, the small supports do have Molle cutouts, so you can have pouches up there, you can mount your fire strikes with quick fists or other bits and pieces such as torches. So even though we've added the shelf there, the visibility to the back is really good. You will hardly notice that shelf in place, but you'll still have all that storage space. So there you go guys, rear roof shelf for the Nissan Patrol Y62.